What's going on, people? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Sai TV. This is the MUFC Unfiltered podcast on a Sunday night. Big up to everybody who's watching right now. Please do hit the like button on the video if you can. It will help the channel out massively. You know what I'm saying? So everybody who does like the video, then big up to you lot. We got a man like Double A in the building. Double A, what are you saying, bro? Everything all blessed. Sunday, crazy football day. You know what I mean? Newcastle winning 8-0. Big North London derby. It's been all happening today. Chelsea losing again. They're in the mud, mate.
Yeah, yeah. Big up Saeed each and every time having me back on the Unfiltered. Big up Flawless and his salt. Can't go wrong with a bit of salt on your food. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. You know what I'm saying? 100%.
Salt. Big up to the best chat.
Yo, it's how funny you think you are is what is cracking me up.
I only laugh at your reactions. I don't laugh at myself. I just laugh at your reactions, bro. That's all it is. Don't be salty. Don't be salty, Flawless, man. Come on.
I'm giving you your plaudits, man. It was funny.
No.
Giving you your plaudits.
Big up the
best chat.
There's no stopping Double A. You know that, man. Come on.
This guy is dad jokes, you know.
Nah, do you know what? I've not even seen nothing about the football. I mean, I've had a family day, stayed away from everything, just getting myself prepared for this show, mate. That's all that matters on a Sunday. F any other team if it's not United. But no, big up to you both. It's good to be here. Good to finish 1 week and start another week, getting it all out on the Unfiltered podcast each and every time. But everyone, make sure you're smashing a like on your way in and supporting these two, man, because, you know, two of the hardest working guys on YouTube. They pretty much live here. They're here that much. They pretty much live here. I'm a passerby in comparison to these two. I'm just walking past these two live here, man. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, big up to you too.
Hey, love, man. Appreciate it, man.
I appreciate it, man. Big up to you. Flawless in the building. Flawless, what are you saying, bro?
Yeah, man, I'm blessed. Big up for having me as always, man. Always, like, I can only echo what Double A said in regards to looking forward to the show on a Sunday as well. So big up for having me, Double A. Always good to see you. Large up to the chat as well. And yeah, it's always eventful with Manchester United. Whether we win, whether we lose, whether we draw, we don't even have to be playing to have something to talk about. Like, look at the international break. I thought we became a country. I had to double check we weren't playing Estonia or the Faroe Islands over the last international break. So yeah, man, looking forward to the show. I'm just glad we finally got a win. Relieved.
I'm telling you.
So relieved. It's so relieved.
Respite, innit? I think that's the relief for me more than anything. It's 3 points, but still, I think for me, a lot of papering over cracks. You know what I mean? But ultimately, I feel like for me, it was one of them games where I just feel like everyone wanted this to end because it was really not really going anywhere. We never looked like we were going to score a second goal. They never looked like it was going to equalize. It was one of them games where we got the goal through a wonder goal for Bruno Fernandes, and it took maybe a wonder goal for it to be kind of conclusive as to what side of the game it would go to. And Bruno Fernandes, fair play to Johnny Evans, found him out, and it was a good goal. But other than that, a very, very uneventful game. But Double A, man, what are you saying? Do you reckon it was papered over cracks? I reckon people are trying to look at it too positively, but is it just kind of 3 points that we move? Like, it stops the kind of, I would say, you know, the negative feeling around the football club that we haven't won a game or whatever. What do you reckon, bro?
Does it though? Because I feel like it asks more questions than it answers in terms of performance. We made, for me, championship team look like, I had to rub my eyes at one point. I thought I was watching Barcelona against us with the blue and claret. And do you know what I mean? I thought,
we do that to every team, though. We make every team look like Barcelona.
Right. It's true. That Pedri, that now. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, why? You know, and I'm not saying we're on Manchester City's level at all, but, you know, first game of the season, Man City swatted these. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know they had a little bit of a decent spell in the game, but Man City just put them to one side. And if it was Spurs scored 5 against them, I think it is. I mean, why? It's such an indictment of where Manchester United are right now that we're saying, oh, do you know what? I'm glad we got them 3 points for Burnley. You know, I'm glad we got out of there, bro. We say that when we go to we should be saying that when we go to the Emirates and play poor, go to Newcastle, Arsenal, Liverpool, City, all these teams. If we get out, a scrape of 1-0. That's when we say, well, I'm just glad to get out of there with the points, boys. To be honest, Against Burnley, we should be smacking these teams. This is where Manchester United should be battering these teams. And the fact we're not is why it asks a lot of questions and why we're still struggling against teams. These will hold goals against a lot of better sides this season. They're not great. You know, some of their players, you could tell they were playing Manchester United and like, right, I can get at these, man, because these aren't on it. You know, some of their young wingers must have been licking their lips thinking, yo, Delo, I'll be at him today. Reguilon, I'll be at him today. They do that against City and against Arsenal, against these teams. They're not going to be doing that. And that's the problem. That's where we are. And listen, I understand what you're saying. You know, bottom line, it's just it is good to get the 3 points because now we can hopefully now use that as a springboard to build that confidence, build that momentum. You know, two home games back to back now. Can we get another 2 wins? I know one's in the cup. Start to build a little something. But, you know, I've got to be honest. I can't just say, yeah, it's all rosy in the garden because Manchester United kept a clean sheet and got 3 points, because you have to look at the deeper issues. We stunk for a lot of that game. And like you said, a wonder goal wins it. Other than that, we were pretty toothless, I think. There were some good performances. But overall, where we need it, where we need that bit of style, where we need that bit of panache, that bit of creativity, and that bit of ruthlessness, listen, we're like an old people's home. We're toothless. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, 100%, man. Big up to Rain. It says, as much as yesterday was about the result, not the performance, you still have to perform better than we did. I am Ten Hag in, but we are playing the same football as Ollie, arguably worse. How do you sum up the football, Flawless? Like when you was watching the game yesterday, yeah, was you just more asked about the result, or do you want a bit of style now? Like, because I'm not gonna lie to you, I think for me, I think as fans, we can demand both. Like, we can demand performances and result. But people are saying, obviously, there's a lot of injuries, but I still don't buy into injuries as to why you don't play better football than Burnley. You know what I mean? They would just come back from the championship. Let's be real. Like, we have to be a bit more honest. Like, we should be playing better football. You know what I mean? Look at Ange today with Tottenham. You know,
They
they're
played
playing
well
some
today.
good football. That's
They
7
did. They
weeks
played well.
into their
They did play
process,
well
as you would
today.
call it. You know?
Yeah, they did play well. Yeah. They did. Spurs played well. In regards to it overall, yes, of course, as fans, we can demand a style, and there should be a style. That is the bare minimum from an overall perspective. But what you have to do is look at this game in isolation. I said before the game, it was as close to a must-win game without it being a must-win game. Because if we would have lost or drew this game in the fan base, full-blown crisis. It would have been absolute mayhem. It's the Purge. For anyone who's seen any of the Purge films, know exactly what I'm talking about. It's just absolute, complete chaos. The Burnley game, the only thing that mattered, people, was the result. We were coming off 3 L's, 2 in the Premier League. I hear it about style, but there's no Manchester United fan on the planet, I believe, on the earth, who's seen that lineup and thought we was good. Thought one, it was a good lineup, and 2, we was going to put in a good performance. Did you see the lineup? I was not expecting a good performance. The 2 things I was looking at was, one, the win, the result. Secondly, because Double A mentioned it in regards to when we lost to Brighton. It looked like the players had chucked it in on the manager. And he said, and I thought so the same in regards to, that's the type of performance that gets the manager to sack. That type. You're going to lose matches. You know what I'm saying? Every team's going to lose matches, but it's how you lose. Props to the players, though, because they put it in. From an effort perspective, they didn't chuck it in. You see Onana crashing into, I think it was Jay Rodriguez. You see Johnny Evans crashing into Jay Rodriguez. That low Reguilon putting themselves about. Casemiro doing what he does. Same with Hannibal, which we'll get to. Same with even though McTominay was poor in particular in the first half, second half, there was times he made 3 or 4 very important interceptions. Don't get me wrong. Is he good enough? But we know his deficiencies. Rashford's just in poor form, and his confidence is supremely low. Højlund still, even though he didn't have his best game, is still putting in the effort, as is Bruno as well. So, like, from that perspective, I go get the result. We'll worry about everything else afterwards in regards to style and it being sustainable. The biggest compliment I can pay the team is that game there was very, very workmanlike. Like, it was, when I seen that, I was just glad he didn't play the diamond. Because when I first seen the lineup, I thought, no way has he gone back to the diamond. And thankfully, he didn't. And the manager got it right. Because if we draw or lose that game, we're sat here criticizing the manager for his tactics. And you just have to sometimes, even though it's Burnley away, and I get what Double A is saying, we shouldn't be in that predicament. We just are because of what's gone on in the season so far. Like, so I have to give credit to the manager, credit to the players that we got out there with the result. And it was a moment of brilliance from two players. One of them being Johnny Evans. Who would have thought? One being Johnny Evans with an absolute world-class pass. You're on mute, Sahib.
He's like excited. He's putting himself on mute.
Yeah, no, I'm saying I'm agreeing with you. Who would have thought?
Who would have thought? Johnny Evans, world-class moment. Bruno, as much as I criticize him, world-class finish. That's won us the game. Get out of there with the result. That was the main thing. Now against Palace in the Cup and Palace in the Premier League. Now let's try and see. We got Varane's back. Amrabat's now got minutes, so there should be improvements going forward. So that's what I'd say. But it was all about the result. If you see the midfield of McTominay, Casemiro, and Hannibal, and thought we were going to play good football with Johnny Evans and Lindelof behind him, I don't know, and Bruno on the wide right, what will you expect? Like, that's unrealistic expectations. You was never going to get a great performance with that lineup.
Should you not expect more, though? Should you not, like, I know what you're saying, and you look at that team, but two of them players are players that are vying to get into the team full time in McTominay, and a debut for Hannibal. I'm sure we'll touch on him, and he's someone I was very impressed with. You know, you say you look at that team and you don't expect anything, but should we expect something? You say you don't expect it, but should we expect it? Because these players need to start performing, and we need the performance. I can't just sit and go take 3 and go. I need to see something that gives me something to cling on to.
I hear that, but the reason why I don't is because, like I say, each and every week, whether we win, whether we lose, whether we draw, like when you look back to when let's shout out to Andy Tate every single time when people were talking about this same group of players being in the title race, and I sat here and was like, we can't win the league because these players are not that good. These are now some of the same fans who are now questioning the team, calling out certain players, saying they're not good enough. For 6 months ago, we could win the league. For in the summer, we could win the league. The reason why I don't expect more, because I know McTominay is not good enough. I know his level. I've watched him here long enough to know he's not. If he was playing for Burnley,
does the manager know his level? Do you reckon the manager knows his level?
Yeah, because he was happy to let him go. I think Ten Hag should have done more to push him out, but that tells you all you need to know. Look at the team. Forget Onana, because I thought Onana was good. That was a plus point as well. Thought he made some good saves. And like all people going over the top with the criticism of him. Dalot, I think we're all in pretty much agreement, is not good enough. Reguilon's new. Johnny Evans shouldn't be here. Lindelof's not good enough. So that's 3. That's 3 of the back 4 off the back. Casemiro, we know his quality. McTominay, he'd probably be number 2 on most people. If we did a worldwide poll in regards to players you want to get rid of at Manchester United, I think Scott McTominay probably becomes second behind after Harry Maguire. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Maybe 1, but my point is they're vying. We know he's not good enough. Hannah, it's 1A, 1B. Hannibal was, I thought he was very what you would want, effort, put in, and was effort, worked hard, composed on the ball. That's one thing that impressed me. But did he do anything extra special? No, but we didn't need you to. Rashford, someone who
right now we need the basic principles of
and he did them. Running. Yeah, that's the correct one.
Yeah, he did the basics.
Thank you, Said. He did the basics, which our players have not been doing. So props to him. Rashford divides opinion. He's in poor form. Højlund's new, and Bruno we spoke on. You know what I'm saying? So like the reason why I don't expect more is because I don't rate these players. I just know they're not very good, and some of that does lie on the manager because you've kept some of them, you've gave new contracts to certain players, and that's where I look at the manager because I've seen you force people out. So do it more. I've watched you drop Maguire and make him 5th, 6th choice centre back. I've seen you move on Cristiano Ronaldo. I've seen you move on a Fred. I've seen you not play McTominay. So it's kind of like do that more. So that's on some of that's on the manager. Again, people, these players are just not that good. If we switch, like I said, if McTominay was playing for Burnley and we batting an eyelid, is he that much better than the Brownhill?
He wouldn't get in their team. I don't think you get in their team the way they play football. I don't think you get in their team, to be honest with you. I've got a couple of super chats to read out. Big up to everybody who's sending in the super chats. If you do send a super chat, you will get read out. Abdishek says, Ten Hag wants to play transition ball. What is transition ball? I don't see any style. We are just playing hoofball to Bruno, Højlund, and Rashford. I think for me, though, that chat is right there. Is what I want to know. What is Ten Hag's philosophy this season? Like, is it till we wait till the better players come in and then we see it, or is it we're playing transition football right now with the players that we've got. Like, what is it that I'm looking like? That's where I feel like for me, that there are people who are putting them chats out there. What is the way that the manager wants to play? Like, we have to ask them questions, But go on. Sorry, Double. Are you gonna say something there?
I was just going to jump on that. I'll jump on what you were saying. You have to. It has to be club wide. I mean, you look at Man City. No matter who's in the team, they play the same style of football every single time. We can't say we can only play this type of way when we've got our best players. That's fucking ridiculous. You know what I mean? You can't.
That's outrageous. Yeah,
bro, it's mad. It has to come like you believe. Oh, well, there's reports that he's taken over the youth team and the under 18s and all this. Well, apparently he wants to implement. He wants to implement this style of play throughout similar to Ajax. It's brought in from the kids all the way up to the first team. So when young players come into the first team, they know exactly how they want to play. This is apparently what Ten Hag wants to do. Are we seeing it? Absolutely not. But this is what my point was, Saeed. The question that I asked, playing devil's advocate to Flawless, is that
my bad.
We should expect these players to come in with a game plan and want to do things every single time. You know what I mean? Like, they should be looking to play football. They should be looking to play better rather than living off moments and like he's saying, hoofball. And where is this transition ball? He wants to be the best transition team in the world. Where is it? We're not seeing any of it. Like, we can do it for 20 minutes, and then all of a sudden, it's just back. It's back to living off moments and scraping through games. And if they go a goal down, heads drop. I mean, we'll probably touch on the no substitutions yesterday, but that was one of the big things. Yes, we got the 3 points yesterday, but the no substitutions things for me. And one of my sticking points with Ten Hag, and it's sort of a following on point from him being so stubborn, is that he is very, very reactive. He's not a proactive manager from what I can see in terms of substitutions.
He was last season, though, so it's changed this season for some reason. I don't know what it is.
But why though? I mean, we would have seen 3 or 4 substitutions if we'd have gone and go down, or they'd have drew level with us yesterday. Why is that happening? I think the game was crying out for it to be stretched, and we had 2 players on the bench that could have done that for us in Garnacho and Pellistri. Again, I imagine it's 2 players we're going to touch on. I just don't understand. I just don't understand why the only 2 subs he made was because of injuries and stuff like that. And I just think we can't wait for good players, our best players, to come back before we start to see any style of play. It has to be coming, no matter who's in the team. You know how we set up. You know how we want to get at teams. You know how we want to transition the ball and get into attacking positions and feed the strikers and feed the wide players to get in positions to score or cross. It needs to start now, and this is why I'm demanding it. This is why I'm not happy with yesterday. 3 points is 3 points. Yes, it's all well and good, but I don't want it to be after Palace. We're like, well, yeah, it's another 3 points, and there's a few things that were better. Another clean sheet, a quiet but solid game for Onana. But maybe next time we start to show this potential. Do it now. Do it right. No, there's no better time than the present. Let's get on it and get these players playing football immediately. That's what we need to start seeing, because it's just, again, you get to January and it's like, well, maybe after the transfer window, when we get some players in that maybe a little bit better, then we might start to see. It's just, you're always waiting. Tomorrow never arrives, and that's, I think, the problem with this Man United team at the moment.
Yeah, Man City, mate, they're winning games, mate. They're winning games. Nick Mann says, big up the lads. 3 points, main thing, and reset. Amrabat, Casemiro, and Bruno next game. I believe we will be more fluid and solid as a unit. GGMU. Yeah, big up. Definitely Amrabat when he comes in, 100%. Hala Penio says, what matters is a win, especially if you have that many injuries. There's too much impatience in the fan base, fueled by rivals and pundits. Relax. I don't think it is, I think for me, it's what you want to see from within. I think it's, what it is as well? You have to be honest as a fan of what you're seeing. You can have positivity in the fact that, it's 3 points, and you can be short-term thinking for now because of injuries. But I do also believe that, the way the manager plays in the second part of the season, the second year of the season, does equate to a lot. It has to be a bit more better in what we're trying to do. I think for me, the first year you can let it slide because he's acclimatized into the role, but the second year is where you need to kind of understand a little bit more the consistencies of what his style of play is. That's all it is from me. Like, I don't think it's a case of me saying Ten Hag out or Ten Hag needs to go. I just think
No.
I'm demanding more from the manager
And
second year into the job. That's
and
all
that's
it is
fair.
for me.
That
I'm
no, and the thing
demanding
is
more.
that's fair because it is more of his players. You know what I'm saying? He spent more money, so we should see more of your imprint. That I hear. The only reason where I defend Ten Hag with that game in particular is because he had to win it. It's like a boxing match, and we've lost the first 3 rounds, clearly. You know what I'm saying? We've been buzzed, we've been wobbled, you know what I'm saying? Done the stanky leg. The 4th round, don't worry about trying to win like convincingly. Just get on your job, get back to the fundamentals. That's what he did against Burnley. Got back to the fundamentals, workmanlike. Because I was legit unsure in regards to if the players had indeed given up on him. Because it certainly looked that way. But that game disproved that, which I am indeed happy about. And it was more relief than happy. Of course, I was happy we won, but I was more relieved. It was legit relief. I was like, whew.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That, like, because I'm like, if we lose that, then you're going into them Palace games and you're like, all right, now we've not won in 4. Like, could potentially be 5 and then 6, and the pressure builds. So you get a win, especially away from home, because we know about our away record. Big up Indiana as well.
Yeah, big up Indiana.
Yeah, big up Indiana as well. Yeah, listen, 100%. I feel like for me, you know, and listen, I don't want to even compare it to different managers, but today we see obviously, you know, Ange playing that sort of football. And yes, most of his players were there, but you cannot mean. I think it's one of them where we want to see what every team's about. And I think with Ten Hag yesterday, what I felt was, you know, we just are unable to kind of keep the ball. We're unable to kind of sustain what we're doing. And a lot of people are saying, you know, is this sort of football sustainable? Does it get better with players? I hope so. It gets better with players because that means a better quality of players produce a better football. And, you know, I mean, that's what it makes sense. But I hope, like I said to you, we don't go back into our shell and we start now picking up the performances, you know, in this team. Because, like I said, you know what I mean? I want to see style with win. I don't want to see win. I want to win with style as well. Don't get me wrong, winning is important. But you need to see style with winning. I think sometimes that's what I think gives confidence to the fans. Because right now, into the second season, it shouldn't be a case of people wanting Ten Hag out. Like we should be looking forward to the next second season. And you know what? It's now positive feeling. You know, that's just the way I kind of look at it for now. Like we need that to kind of sustain to the next season. You know, big up to HK News says Ten Hag is playing to Rashford and Bruno's strengths. Will never ever play good football while both in the team, and he knows it well. While he wants to play drastic football, it will be his downfall. You know what? There is that feeling for me, though, and he did make an interview. This is where I'll back up HK Music. He did say in his interview that I may not be able to play my style of football because of certain players or because of the way my players are and their kind of abilities and maybe their strengths. There was that in there. And he said it at the start of the season. I think he said it on an interview. I don't know if it was with MUTV or someone like that, but he said maybe he's not able to fully implement his style of play. And I think ultimately, yeah, when you look at it, double A, like, is it down to certain individuals and the way they play football? But the fact that they have so much impact in our team, we have to still play through them. You know what I mean? So say now Rashford and Bruno, like HKM Music says there, we can't play a different style of football because they're suited to more final transition, you know, probably in that aspect. Like, because, yeah, he did say, yeah, MUTV, yeah, it's on Twitter. It's on Twitter, yeah. But yeah, what do you think to that super chat, bro? Because we will get onto Rashford. For me, I'm not gonna lie to you. I think there's big favoritism towards Rashford because I'm like, how can he have stinker after stinker after stinker and still not be off the pitch? Like how? But yeah, go explain to that super chat, bro.
Don't get me started on him, man. I mean, I've not. It feels like it's turned into agenda, but I've just had enough. I've just had enough of watching him like stink out. These moments yesterday again, and he's just not learning. And it's like, you know, there's been a whole argument on social media this week about has he actually got low IQ or do people not really understand that or whatever. You know what I mean? Like personally, for me, I just think he's very greedy, very selfish, and wants to be the big man on campus every single game. Doesn't want to pass, and people are trying to make excuses now, like, oh, but he doesn't know Højlund's game. Like, no, you know when to pass the ball, you know when to shoot. He doesn't know when to pass or when to shoot. And there was 2 moments yesterday. The one when he's got 6 players around him, he decides to shoot rather than pass. And one when he's got a better shot on, and he passes and fucks up the chance for Højlund. he's just a very frustrating footballer at this moment in time. And you know, you can even go back to last season. He was scoring goals, but overall his performances were a bit meaty, weren't they? He wasn't great. He wasn't great last season. And you look at, you know, the League Cup, and we spoke about it before, 4 goals in 20 games or whatever it is. It's something stupid like that. Yeah, I mean, he's just a very, very frustrating player. But I think some players just need to hold bench, don't they? Like, and Marcus Rashford's one of them. But you know, I've seen the chat before we went live, and they're talking about there's a clause in his contract where he gets paid for being an unused sub. So I like some mad stuff. Like I don't even know if that's true or not. But I just worry that, you know, when we play bad, two players get the blame, and this is in defense of Rashford and Bruno now. What, you know, why is it always them two? Because they're the 2 biggest players, the captain and the player that earns the most. It's just all of it. Why can the whole team not be bad? Why can the whole team not play well? And I think he's right in what he's saying. To get back to the point on what Ten Hag is saying, I just don't think he has the players fully that want to play the way that he has. I just don't think some of the players just aren't very good at it. And I think if you look at Bruno, when he plays for Portugal, he's actually brilliant. He's actually brilliant. And you can talk about Luxembourg, I don't care, but he does it a lot more often for Portugal. No matter who they're playing, he looks a lot better player than he does when he plays for Manchester United a lot of the time. If he has these top level players, which you normally get in international football.
Sorry, the comment from Indiana. Sorry to interrupt. Yeah, I was saying that. Hey, hats off if you're watching, man. You know what I'm saying? Anybody?
You know what, big up Indiana, man. You're gonna have to come on the show, man. When you next about, man, we're gonna have to bring you on the show, man. Big up Indiana. But you know what it is though? I feel like for me, does that set a precedent in the squad? I don't know if you've seen Garnacho, but his brother put out a tweet a couple of, I don't know if it's 2 months ago, but he said about, you know, certain players playing no matter what. Like, I feel like for me, like, I'm not saying it's stunted Garnacho's growth because he'll get opportunities, but I just feel like for me, like, what message does that send if you're playing badly and you don't get dropped or you don't get substituted? Like, what message does that send to everyone else? Like Pelestri, you know, terrible. Like Garnacho, like whoever's on the bench. If you're not playing well, you come off. I'm sorry. Yeah. Like yesterday, Rashford for me had another stinker, but yet he's still on for the most. And I'm like, come on, man. Like, I just want to see the squad being utilized well. And then when we have injuries, we got injuries. No, because we're not using our squad well as well. We're not using our squad.
Agreed. Like that sets a bad example for everybody. That's not good. You know what I'm saying? In any job, in any profession, if you're in a team and the person who's ahead of you in the team is not performing well, all right, what do I have to do to get my shot? So if he's not performing well, which Rashford isn't, and the biggest issue Rashford has, is he's very much like Manchester, like the stereotypical Manchester United social media fan. So whether it's people who be in the chat or people on social media, he has no middle ground, Rashford. That's my biggest problem with him. He's either 7 out of 10 or above, or he's 3 out of 10 or below. There is no middle ground with him whatsoever.
Such a good point, you know.
And when he's low on, and you're gonna have times where you're low on confidence and not playing well as an attacking player, then I just need you to do what Hannibal did, and just do the basics. Just be fine. If he was playing 5, 6 out of 10, we'd be sat here being critical, but we wouldn't be as critical because when he's bad, he sticks out. So to Double A, who asked, like, why does, even though I think the criticism of him is over the top when the whole team's playing bad, the reason why people pinpoint him, because when he's bad, it really shows. Like in his game. Like McTominay will have a bad game, but because it's like it's not with the ball at his feet, it's kind of like, all right, people, it's not on the eye test. You have to actually like be locked in and watch him. But Rashford, like, loose touches. You know what I'm saying? And that passing when you should shoot, like you said, shooting when you should. He needs to find a middle ground. And I don't want him to be, and it seems it's going that way, one bad season, one great season, then a bad season, then a great season. Consistency. He is legit the stereotypical Manchester United social media fan, where it's just no middle ground whatsoever. I can't remember the last time I seen Rashford play, and it's like he played 3-4 games in a row, and he's been like 5 and 6s out of 10s. It's either 7 and 8s or 2s and 3s. Like, I don't need that. Like, we need you to find the middle ground when you are not indeed playing well.
Yeah.
Yeah. A couple of super chats here. Big up Awinski. Big up to everybody who's here. Guys, there's only 201 likes. There's nearly 800 in here. We need you to like the video,
move up the
people.
likes,
That's
man.
the only way
Move
the
up
numbers are going to
likes.
grow. And, you know, the show will reach out to more people. So please, if you haven't liked the video already, hit the like button right now. Awinski says, guys, we know what Eric Ten Hag's style is. He even said it. We don't have the technical sound players. A manager is only good as a player he has. But also, I could say to you, I could switch that. I could say, well, he's bought the players in to suit his philosophy. You know?
That's why I don't hear this, because this is more so his team. When you look at the 11s that are out there, it's players he signed or players he's given new contracts to. What are we talking about? Forget the Burnley game. When you look at the Brighton game, Onana, that's your signing. Dalot, you gave a new contract to. Reguilon, loan signing. Martinez, your signing. Lindelof, you didn't push out the door. Who else? The Diamond, Ericsson, your signing. Casemiro, your signing. McTominay, you didn't push out the door. Bruno is the captain. Rashford's your guy. Højlund's your signing. So that's why if the players are not technically sound enough, that's on you. That's on you.
Yeah. 100%. Big up Adams for the super chat. He says here, I want wins. Give me 3 points any time of the day and on a Sunday. All these Twitter tacticals that always chat about style. Go watch Blacked. You will see all the styles you want.
Tacticals.
Go watch.
That's funny.
We need more. I was going to say before, do you know what? I'd be a little bit selfish and enjoy watching your football team play well. Like, you're not bored of watching turgid games week in, week out. Like, especially like for people who go every week. Yeah, like, I don't want to turn up to Old Trafford, sit there bored, thinking I'd rather just gone and watch the new Neighbours that's on, bro. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, rather than I just caught this on MO.
His Neighbours still going. Jeez,
they brought it back.
Neighbours is still going, man.
They brought it back, and apparently it's set 2 years in the future. I don't know why. I'm telling you this. Who cares? Who cares?
Yeah.
But I'd rather watch it on TV. I like to turn up and watch good football. I'm allowed to expect more from a football team that we all wanted this season to get closer to the two teams that finished above us. We've said it a million times this season. And we're allowed to be pissed off when that's not happening. And we're allowed to ask questions of why it's not happening and point fingers at those that are stopping it from happening. And just to touch back on the point of these players being allowed to play week in, week out, I'll tell you what it reminds me of, and I'll tell you the road we're heading down. And it might not end the same way, but it seems like it's going the same way. If you look at people tweeting stuff and all this nonsense, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and his favourites played the same team week in, week out. That's why apparently Rashford played injured all the time. That's why Martial is probably shot, because he was playing injured all the time. It was happening under Ole. He stopped. He kept playing the same team week in, week out. And this is what Eric Ten Hag is now doing. There needs to be some jeopardy to these performances. Players need to be called out by fans, by the manager, by pundits, by everyone. When you are dropping stinkers, when you are not contributing to the team in your position, and if you're Marcus Rashford, that means assisting or scoring, or at least looking dangerous, or at least looking like you are a team player, you need to be hauled off the pitch, whether that's not starting. Look what happened last season when he was late to a meeting and he hauled off the pitch. He came on at half time and he won the game for United. That's a jeopardy of his actions. This needs now to start happening when he's not doing it on the pitch, and it's not happening enough. And it's right that fans are calling it out. I love Ten Hag, but at the end of the day, if you're jeopardizing Manchester United's growth and your own growth in this role, it needs calling out. There's too many players that skate by in this club, and we've seen it for years and years. And a lot of them are still here, from Ole and Mourinho even, and it just needs to stop. And listen, Marcus Rashford is the worst for it, because like Flawless is saying, he's either good or he's either shit. And all we're seeing this season is shit. And I'm bored of seeing it. When these players, like, people talk about Garnacho a lot. For me, I'd rather see Palistra. I think Palistra did a decent job in a massive game at Bayern Munich. I don't think he let the side down. He wasn't pulling up trees. But as a young player in that arena, I think in the first half, I think he worried Alphonso Davies a lot, you know. Like, you could see moments he was worried about Palistra, because he's a very smart footballer. I think I'd rather see him properly given 4 or 5 games. And he should have played last night, I think.
He should have played last night, man.
I agree with that. I agree.
He's our best winger.
He should have.
He's our best winger. He's the most intelligent winger we've got because he's not.
And
greedy.
this diamond didn't work. Let's be honest. This diamond didn't work really. We got dominated. It just kind of made everything a bit more compact in the fact that we had a bit more midfield presence.
That was a 4-2-3-1 though. That was even a diamond. That was a 4-2-3-1. Now Bruno played wide right.
I think it was. Yeah. I think it was a 4-2-3-1. But for me, obviously, it didn't have enough width. I thought for me.
Yeah, because Bruno's gonna drift in. Of course, he's not gonna stay out. Like the width's gonna come from your fullback. So I get what you're saying.
We didn't get exposed as much. Yeah, we didn't get exposed as much. He went back the first 10, 20 minutes. I thought they were all on. The second half, we did well.
Did you notice as well? It was just quickly. It was noticeable in the second half. Before I forget to mention this, did you notice that he moved McTominay to the base of the midfield? He changed. He made which I thought was telling because it meant to me that Casemiro is now offering more as an 8 than you are offering as an 8 to me in this game. And that's why you're saying he came in with them interceptions because he was stuck at that base. And listen, he was still shit. He was still terrible, but it was very noticeable. It was very annoying.
We know he's not good.
Come on, he's absolutely dog shit. But it was just funny to me that I noticed that. Oh, big up United Brit. United Brit. I don't know what's going on in Neighbours, mate. I just heard someone on the internet that it's 2 years set in the future. If you want to go and download free.
I just can't believe that. I just can't believe that that's like still going. I remember like that being on when I was a kid.
Still going somewhere.
I
don't know if it's
not there anymore.
Yeah. Big up to HK Moose says, flawless. Remember what I brought up this on your channel last season about Rashford shoots way too much. He has continued this season, but his goals have dried up. Only difference, got to bench him. You know what? For the betterment of the team, do you reckon Højlund will suffer with a player like Rashford, or do you reckon he'll benefit more? Like, where do we look at Højlund's game as well? Because I thought yesterday he looked very, very frustrated. There was a point when Bruno should have played the ball across, I think, or dragged it back, but he did something else, and then he kind of looked at Bruno and said, what are you doing? And obviously Rashford, again, isn't giving the ball. Like, remember, Casemiro was free, could have made it 2-0.
Yeah, he should have played Casemiro. Yeah.
I should have played Casemiro.
Højlund's gonna, sorry to cut you off, Højlund is gonna look frustrated because you know why? Our attacking players are just not that good. You put any 9, go get whoever you think is the best number 9 in Europe right now. Go get the top 3. And if you put them in this side, they are going to look frustrated. Yes, they will be better at creating for themselves because they're better overall. We do not forget this myth, because this myth out there that Manchester United last season and this season create a lot of chances. We don't. Watch the games, people. How many shots we have on target? How many? We don't even create that many half chances like that. So he's legit feeding off scraps. Do I put it solely on Rashford that that's happening? No, because let's take Rashford out of it. Let's say it is Garnacho or Pellistri. Do I think it changes significantly? No, I don't think it changes significantly. And this is where the manager had to address that area properly. The problem he has, the 2 attacking players who have been his marquee signings in Anthony and Mount so far have just not worked. That's the biggest issue, because you said when all the players are fit, do we improve? From a defensive standpoint, yes. I can fully see this team improving from a defensive standpoint. With Varane coming back, you got Amrabat, Shaw playing as a left-sided centre-back, you got Malacia, etc. That will make us much more solid. But I look at us from an offensive standpoint, who's missing that changes us significantly? I don't think there is anybody.
As well. That's also the goals.
Rashford needs to be dropped.
Drying up as well. Yeah,
goals drying up. We've not scored goals for Ten Hag's entire reign. Like we scored 58. We scored 58 Premier League goals last season.
How many goals have we scored this season?
7 in 6 games.
7.
Is it 7?
7 and 6.
I think it's 7 and 6. Yeah, because we scored 3 against Forest, 1 against Arsenal, 1 against Burnley, 1 against Brighton.
3 against
missing someone.
3 against
Forest. I added the 3 against Forest.
3 against Forest.
1 against Wolves. And 1 against Wolves. Yeah, 7.
2 against Arsenal. Yeah.
So where is this myth?
7.
I said it when we've been on Unfiltered podcast.
It's wild,
and people in the super chats were trying to argue me down, talking about we can challenge and and I said all summer long, who's creating and who's scoring in this team? We added Mount and Højlund. Højlund, I think, will improve us, and I'm seeing the benefits.
We should expect a lot from Højlund as well. Like, as he's still 20 years old, he's still someone who's had 2 professional seasons, I think it is, or even less than that. If he played at Copenhagen and he had 1.
So when you say the goals have dried up, the goals have never been there. We've never been a 3-goal scoring side under Ten Hag.
Yeah.
He's been here a year and a bit. What are we doing? We was one of the...
And you know what the worst thing is as well? It's we're not scoring, we're leaking in goals as well. No, that's what I kind of hoped for. Is that we thought we'd get rid of. Is that we'd be leaking in goals. Like we thought last season the third best defense in the league, we'd stop leaking in goals. But that's my worry as well. Is that if Man United can't score, can you keep it out as well? You know what I mean? Like that's for me the concern. And obviously, like you said, Amrabat should come in. You know, the defense Varane's coming back in. That should get better. But at the same time, like I said, it's a concern that when we don't have someone just to relieve, like you know what it is with Haaland, like with Man City, they might not be playing well and they might have a couple of chances on their other end. But then Haaland scores twice just like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, Foden comes out of nowhere, scores a goal early on, you know? And this is why it was so important yesterday to score first. United have to score first now to win games.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Because of the way we play football. And that for me, I don't think it's sustainable. I really don't. HKM says with Dalot, Shaw, Rashford, these new contracts we sure Ten Hag has full control over. If they stay or not, I don't think he does. Giving yes, man. I think ultimately, I don't think he wanted Evans. I'll be real with you. I don't think he wanted Evans. No. I think he wanted Pavard. I think he wanted Todibo. I think he wanted a centre back. He also wanted a striker. He wasn't given that. I think there was certain signings that he wanted to make. But the key thing is, though, it should not stop you from playing better football. Like, I'm sorry, one or two positions should not stop you from playing overall as a team. Like, we need to play still as a team. You know, and that's something I haven't seen with Erik ten Hag this season. There's been individual moments where we've looked promising, but ultimately as a team, I want to know how many chances we're creating as well in terms of shots on goal. Like, is that because last season that was better? We were creating chances for fun last season. This season, I think the chances are coming every 10, 15 minutes, every 20.
We had times last season where we played well and we did create chances, but there was a lot of games, and I think it's because we won a trophy, had a good season, finished third, great defense, second best home record in the league. People forget that there was many games where we didn't really offer too much, and Rashford would just get a goal and we'd win a game, and people would forget that. Because I was saying, like, yes, I'm enjoying the season. Go get improvements on these players, because otherwise we are indeed going to struggle. And just in regards to the last super chat, I believe Ten Hag is the one dealing. I don't think he's a yes man. I think he is co-signing these contracts, because I think the De Gea offering the De Gea the contract and then taking the contract away was on Ten Hag. So I'm not hearing that he's not having a say. And if he is having a say, like you said, HKM music, that's a concern. Either way, you're either making wrong decisions or you are a yes man. I think it's the former and not the latter, personally.
Couple of super chats here. Big up to Grizz Cards in the chat as well. Liverpool have won, so he's decided to pop in the chat. Owinski says here, I get it, Flawless. Yes, he brought them in, but Manchester United crapped on his vision and gave him third, fourth, fifth choice signings. Erik ten Hag needs time with these pretenders. Okay, I wonder who you call it pretenders.
Let's see. Name names. Please put names on the bullets. But big up in regards to this. Go on, fam.
Yeah, go on. No, you go.
I was gonna just say in regards to if it is his third, fourth, and fifth choice signings. One, we don't know that for sure. But two, let's say hypothetically that is true, and Ten Hag is getting his third, fourth, fifth choice signings. Leave then. If you are being handicapped that much by your employer, why are you still at your job? This is why I don't hear this excuse. This is why when Ollie did the interview saying, "Oh, I put forward to get players and I didn't get players," Van Gaal said the same. If that's the case, leave. Because when Van Gaal won the FA Cup, he weren't talking about him not getting his first choice signings. All he was in interviews talking about, when he was Manchester United manager, I will be successful here. Some of these players won't. You can't have your cake and eat it too. It can't be if you're successful, hail me and hail the players. But when I fail, I'm not getting the guys that I want. Again, say it all the time. If you are not being given the best possible platform to succeed in your job, leave. Otherwise, you are now part of the problem, in my opinion.
I hear what people are saying in that. He's giving him a list, and obviously he is getting let down by the club in terms of they can't get the players that he wants. put the proper number like Kim and Jay, Harry Kane, these players. But don't act like he turns up to Carrington and all of a sudden Johnny Evans there's like, what the fuck are you? Who are you? Like, it's not like he has to sign off these transfers. They have to come to him and say, right, so we can't get this person, but X, Y, and Z are gettable. What do you think, Eric? And Eric's going to have to say, right, let me think. I'll come, right, yeah, go for that. It's not like he turns up and he's these players there. They don't got a fucking clue what's going on. And it's like, oh, shit. Well, I guess I'm working with you then. You know what I'm saying? Like,
he just turned up and was like, Johnny who? Who's this?
Who?
You know what I'm saying? Johnny who?
Your work experience, lad. Yeah, just need my boots cleaning today, mate. Yeah, just you're a bit old for a YTS though, mate. You know what I mean? Like, YTS, if they have YTS now.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Big up, Aminur says, is Onana a good goalkeeper? I'm not sure, you know. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not overgassing Onana. I think for me, I need to see it in the Premier League, but I'm also giving him time. You know what I'm saying? I feel like for me, the jury's still out with Onana. I still will give him time. You've got to give a player, a player to settle in the league. But yesterday, I thought he was very, very good yesterday. I thought he made a good save. He was very, very calm. But yeah, like I said, man, it's going to be a tough season. It's not going to be now. Next week, he might make a mistake. So you just got to be ready to hang in there with Onana. I don't know what you guys are feeling about Onana. I'm too, you know, I'm checking right now. I'm just watching.
Yeah, I like Onana. I've got no issues with his. I think he's made 2 mistakes: the Bayern first goal, the Luton third goal. They're the 2 from a shot stopping perspective. I go, you should do better with those 2. Other than that, no issues with him from general goalkeeping. General goalkeeping attributes, and then distribution calm as well. I'm just waiting to see more, but so far to me, cool. Not overgassing it, decent overall.
Yeah, do you know I think the problem is he's coming to the club with such high expectation on him doing this, and this, changing the way we play, and certain people on channels saying that he's going to make our team score more goals, which I've never heard about a goalkeeper in my whole entire life. How does that happen?
Yeah.
What you want, and this is why I was so not impressed, but I was happy with his performance yesterday, is that it's the first game I think he's had where there wasn't a talking point about something that he's done. You think about the penalty not giving, about the getting sat down and leaping like a frog against Forest, and certain mistakes he's making for goals. Do you know what I mean? Like, something's not happened, you know, but Bayern Munich.
No, but that's what they're doing, though, isn't it?
That's crazy. Hey, but that's what it is being Manchester United player. And that's why when people will say, oh, well, De Zerbi should go get De Zerbi, and I'm like, the reason why I'm saying no to that, and sorry to cut you off, Double A, is because you are under the microscope at Manchester United Football Club. Onana dropped his keys, people. Not keys of coke, his car keys. And it was a story. Go look at that. Go look at that.
Do you know, I think about that. I think about that journalist that wrote that story. Yeah, they must look, and you know, like every month. I went to uni, so every month when I get my student loans deducted, he must look at it and think, yeah, that was money well spent. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, fucking roll that, mum. Put that in your fridge. Go and put that in your office, mum. Fucking idiots. What? Dropped his fucking keys. Like, come on, sort it out. But just back on Onana, like, what we need from him now is like five solid games where he's not the talking point. And you know, for a keeper to come in, it's possibly the hardest position to come in. Maybe a striker's on a par. You need a bedding in period. You're not just going to come in just because he's been in Champions League final last season. Means fuck all when you come to Manchester United, and the spotlight is. He'll know the spotlight is on you. You can't even tell the ex-captain off for fucking up without people making. He's still getting asked about it. He got asked about it last week. Like, what the fuck is going on? Why are you asking about something that happened in July? Fucking wake up, honestly. And like, so now get 5 games under your belt. You're not the talking point. You probably won't even play on Tuesday. I imagine it'll be. I can't. Bayern Day, is that the keeper? The guy from Fenerbahce?
Yeah. I know you're talking about. Yeah.
I imagine he might get a start on Tuesday. So get in a couple of games.
He needs to get a start. I need to see what he's about.
Yeah, you got to see something. Do you know what I mean? Hopefully now,
Onana
can look and look good.
Yeah. Big up to Jalapeno says, no, we do not create. We do create chances to win games. Rashford Messi's 2 or 3 chances per game. If he passed even half of his mess ups, we would likely to get an extra 20 goals a season. Likely 5 to 10 more wins.
What?
You know what's mad, yeah?
Yeah, go on, Said. This has just baffled me. Go on.
No,
Sorry, go on.
I think for me, with this situation here, though, I don't think that we've got players in our team, especially up front, that like to facilitate for others. Like when you watch other teams now at the minute, like or say like Man City or the top teams now, they're giving the ball like the way they're passing and the way they're looking for others. It's not always about them. I think right now we need to trust each other. Like you will get another chance. Like Rashford, when he's in that box, yeah, I just need to let him know that bro, like if you assist, yeah, like you'll get your goal maybe next. Like assist now to get your goal later on. That's what I think his mindset should be. Like I feel like not everything needs to be had a shot. Not everything you need to spam that ball in. Like I just think sometimes, you know what, let another man shine. Let another man, you know what I mean? Like pass it. Like Casemiro there, let him get that glory. You know, I get it. You want to be the main man, and I think he's only got 4 goals in how many games, guys? Has he got 4 goals
20,
in
21, 22 games?
22 games. So
Yeah,
I feel like for me, he wants to become that main striker and that main kind of spearhead for Man United. That's what he wants to do right now. But I don't know, man. I just think for me, is he got that in his game? Are we asking for something in his game that isn't there? And that's something that I'm like, Man United fans have maybe got to accept, and I've accepted it. He isn't that sort of player maybe that will be facilitator or will help others. Like it's him first, and then it's everyone else after.
He come out last season saying he wants to be that player. He wants to create. He wants to assist people. He's actually come out and said it. So for him to say it and then not do it, just shows me that you're a liar and you're just a hypocrite. And you're right in what you're saying. Now it's getting to the point where he just wants to score, and he's not playing for the team. Then is he? He's playing for himself, and he's being selfish. So that then is to the detriment of the team. And it goes back to what we're saying. When you're doing that, Ten Hag needs to take him out and let him hold the bench for a little bit and earn his way back in. But we know it won't happen. Sadly, it just won't happen.
Yeah, he definitely needs to be dropped because his form is horrific. But in regards to this whole thing, if we take him out, we're gonna get 20 extra goals. Why are we so reliant on him then? If we take him out, why? So the other attackers don't get the ball all game, no? It's solely. This is what I'm talking about when I say the criticism of him and going back to what Double A said in regards to when we lose, it's all on him. So I'll take the Burnley game. What did our other attackers do in that game? Outside of the goal.
And that's the thing, man.
Outside of the goal from a defensive standpoint. So you got Højlund out there, you got Bruno out there, put Hannibal in the mix as well. You can add both Reguilon and Dalot because they're fullbacks who do get up the pitch when we do indeed get on the ball. Why is it solely on him? Why? Yeah. Someone please explain that to me. What are our other attack? Like people act like we have some other ballers like out there who are performing well, and Rashford's the sole reason they're not. Or we get 20 extra goals. From where? Take Rashford's 18 goals away from last season. We scored, I think it was 30 goals overall as a team last season in the Premier League. We scored 58. He got 18 of them. What are we talking about?
That's the way you think of me. But what do you do? What do you do then? What does Ten Hag say to the others? So if you want to be part of something, and Pellistri and Garnacho and let's say Martial, he's in the squad. If you're not selling him, you're part of the squad. How do you then incorporate a feeling of responsibility then? If you know a player's not getting substituted off. If I want to be that person that can chip in last 20 minutes of a game, get a couple of more goals, so then we're getting 2 or 3 a game. Like imagine I'm not getting opportunity to get that.
I agree with that. And that lies on the manager, not dropping him. I said Rashford needs to be dropped. I would have dropped him for this game. Well, Burnley, the last game, I would have started Garnacho and Pellistri. That would have been my 2 because you have to be held accountable for poor performances. He shouldn't play against Palace. He shouldn't play either game against Palace, in my opinion, because I can't remember the last time he's had a good game, and that's on the manager, and he has to be held accountable for poor decision making. Manager's got to drop him, but if he carries on playing him and he carries on not playing well, eventually the manager will be sacked because results can't continue in the manner in which they have so far this season. Yes, we beat Burnley, but again, it goes back to performance. You want sustainable performances. You want the one-off where you're not playing well and win 1-0, but it's not sustainable. That performance against Burnley is nowhere near sustainable over a lengthy period of time. So, that's where the improvement needs to happen.
Yeah. just jumping on what Flawless said.
Go for it.
Like saying about obviously there's no other players to come in and who were playing well, but when you've got two young players who are desperate to get themselves in his team and probably think they've got enough potential and talent to do so, when they're coming in a game with chasing and they're getting 6 or 7 minutes, how can you prove it?
That's messed up. I agree with that.
And you got Rashford who's stinking out the place. And yesterday, from 55 minutes onwards, that game needed changes. It needed McTominay, or at the time, I think Hannibal was going through a lot of that. But then what I was really impressed with Hannibal, and I really thought he had a great game yesterday. The last 10 minutes, he flourished. Like heads were dropping, players were getting tired. He still had them resources, that extra bit of energy he found somewhere, and he was creating. He put a cross in, some nice 1-2s, putting some passes together. I thought he was really well. You can't tell me you watched that game yesterday and thought Rashford deserves to play 90 minutes when Garnacho and Pellistri both, and even Martial, Martial, and again, this is one thing you have with Martial. When he come on against Bayern, he was doing some nice little 1-2s, nice little touches here and there.
Oh, he looked good. Again,
you can't tell me even Haaland to an extent. You can't tell me that them two were both lighting it up to the point where those three can't think. Surely I should be able to get.
And I agree with that
a little bit.
Yeah, and that's on the manager. That's on the manager. I agree.
You need to look at it and objectively, and it's not like saying, yeah, well, he knows the game, he's the manager, but we're not stupid. We watch football just as much as anyone else. We can see when someone's playing shit and they should come off the pitch. He needs to get some balls, and he needs to start calling these players out, because it's all right doing it to Sancho when he don't want to play anyway. But the man that are on there week in, week out wanting to play, and you just allowing them to stink out the gaff at Old Trafford every single week. And by no way am I Ten Hag out. I just want everyone to start doing better. Yeah. And if you're not playing well,
simple.
You deserve to get taken off.
And that's it. You want people. We want players to be held accountable for poor performances. You should get your place on merit. And it wasn't 30 people. I said 30 goals. It was 40 goals, people. But yes, in regards to the amount of goals the rest of the team scored. And again, that falls down on the manager. You got to buy better. And you also have to implement in the system helps with that. 110% that helps with creating chances and scoring more goals.
Facts. Big up to Ankit says, we start hyping Bruno when he performs against Burnley or other lower sides. He should be captain. He should captain Tottenham where he wanted to go. Ange won't take him now. Well, Ange has got Maddison, mate. I don't think Ange is worried about Bruno Fernandes. Maddison is a real footballer, man. I think for me, he's a top quality player. But again, you know what I mean? It's one of them where Bruno has to step up in these big games. I've said it before. It's all well and good doing it against the smaller teams, but when it's against the top 6 away, when is our next top 6 away game, by the way? Does anybody know? Man United fixtures. Let me just check.
Quickly say on Bruno as well. I just quickly say on Bruno. No one's hyping him up.
Newcastle, 2nd of December.
Newcastle away.
That's when our next top 6 away game is. Or maybe even the Manchester Derby. He actually scored in the Manchester Derby last year.
Yeah, at home. But the reason why I don't want him I don't expect him to step up, because I just know he can't.
Yeah, we got Bayern, and Liverpool back to back. Fuck, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a quality issue. That's why I don't even criticize him no more. The fact he played so well against Forest, and he was like very important in us coming back. We played Arsenal, obviously the next Premier League game after. I knew what he was going to do, because that's just his performances away from home. How much more do you need to see the result of something before you go, yeah, this is just what it is? Like, I'm all for wanting players to improve. I hear it. I get it. But he's just not it. People in Bruno big away games, forget about it. Forget about it, man. He's been here, 3 years, 2.5 years, however long it's been. Never performed in one. Why all of a sudden is he going to start now? Why is he going to get to the 12th one, 13th, 14th away game, and the penny drops and we see a magnificent him away at Anfield? Never going to happen.
So who's our biggest game player right now? Who's our big game player right now? If you
Rashford.
to give one player.
It's Rashford. In terms of attacking, look at his record against the Big Six. Look at his record against the Big Six.
Rashford. That for me as well is a bit of a madness, that we don't have like players that step up like when it matters the most. Like, I need you to step up, and that's why for me right now it's like a lot of people are not performing. I think Varane can be. I think right now we need everyone. That core group we had. We had Lisandro, Casemiro, Varane, Bruno to an extent, Rashford. That's 5. Who else was performing last season? And we thought,
Ericsson
I think
to
that
an
was them
extent.
majority.
Yeah, it was, but it was
And
the
Shaw,
majority of those
maybe.
four.
Shaw was
And maybe
good.
Shaw, a left
Yeah,
back as
Shaw
well.
at centre back was very good. Shaw was
On
very
Shaq
good.
for
at
the
centre
back end of the
back.
season.
Yeah.
Six players right now. I don't think anybody's playing well. And I'm being genuinely honest with you. Nobody is playing well right now. Nobody.
Well,
And-
apart from free game Reguilon and people wanting to sign him up already, get the fuck out of town.
Oh my days!
What are you doing? What are you
Bro, let me
doing?
just say,
Bro, he's
big up
disgusting.
HK Music. Let me just get that in here. The reason Rashford is
This
focused
fan base-
on is because he
This fan
shoots the
base are
ball
hard to
most of the
back
time.
sometimes when they come out with bollocks like this. I swear to you.
Crazy.
3 games.
I can't believe it. Three games, bro. And you know what? It's crazy. I can't believe it, man.
The brother can't defend.
Yeah, he
The
is,
brother
basically.
can't defend. Right. I can't believe it, bro. Can't believe it, man. 3 games
the
and they
reason
want to
why-
sign him up. Mad.
It's crazy, bro. This super chat here before I get it in. The reason Rashford is focused on is because he shoots the ball by most so far. Rashford is not the guy. Neither is Bruno. It will be Ten Hag drop. Yeah, listen, man. Ten Hag will have to firm it, man. I have to realize what does he want. You know what I mean in this team. But I'm gonna read you some quotes. Apparently, Fabrizio Romano's been on. When I see Fabrizio Romano put something up, and I was like, bro, like, what are you doing? Like, what is your what is your point here, bro? Like, allow us in it. Like, when you making videos about United, it ain't transfer window. Allow us in it. I know you're trying to get your bag, yeah, but bro, allow us in it. But he says here, the Man United staff are very happy with Sergio Reguilon on and off the pitch. He has great attitude and understands what Ten Hag is asking. He has a very good impact. And there was something about this morning. I think it was about this morning. There was a report. Where was it? Let me see here. It was something about basically he could get a new contract basically at Man United, could further his contract. I look at it and I think, you know what? This sums up Man United Football Club. It's like, why can't we just praise a guy and just leave it as that? Like, why do we need to go to the depths of?
Because it comes back to what I said about Matt. We are, as a fan base, we are Marcus Rashford's form. You know what I'm saying? Performances. We're either up here, you know what I'm saying, high up here, or absolutely down here. Reguilon plays well, which he has done for free. Sign him up, get him in. Reguilon had played badly, you know what the conversation would be? Awful signing. Should never play for the club again. Let's rip up his contract. No middle ground, man. Zero.
Bro, it's like, I'll put my neck on the line now. He gets sent back in January because once Shaw comes back, he's on the bench. And you know, people writing off Malacia, yeah, like the kid's not even played this season at all. And you can say he tailed off a little bit. It's his first season. He's 20. He's just turned 24. You know what I mean? He had a decent first season, and for me, he's better than Reguilon. He's a high ceiling than Reguilon. Reguilon is third choice at Spurs. Is that really where Manchester United are? That we want a third choice Spurs left back who's getting left out the team? Is Udogie 18 or whatever?
Shout out Udogie, man. Hey, we should have signed him in the summer. I'm a fan of Udogie.
What I want United to be doing, right, is Imran. Forgot about Malacia, but forget about him anyway. What we need to be doing is buying players to overtake Shaw and become number one, not to come in and be backup to Shaw, because Shaw ain't all that anyway. I'd rather have someone better at left back than Luke Shaw.
Talk about it.
So why the fuck am I going to want Sergio Reguilon, right? Sergio Rubicon coming in here, right? Mango Rubicon coming down here. Yeah.
This guy.
Getting the contract. Yeah.
He Rubicon after the sugar tax as well. Because they ruined that
Rubicon, you know.
They ruined that drink. That was my go. That was one of my go-tos, man, with a kebab. That was one of my that was my go-to drink.
Guava. That's my best flavor. The guava.
The guava. What's the white one? Me. Oh, the white one is bad. I can't remember. Lychee. Oh my days. Lychee is bad. But it's still better than Reguilon. I'm not having Reguilon doing United.
Underrated as well.
Yeah, bad boy.
What did you say? Sorry, what did you say there?
Is that me? About what
did you say? You said about the Sergio Reguilon just then.
I just don't want. He should be at United. He shouldn't even be here. That's the problem. And now he's come and played 3 decent games in a team that's playing shit, and all he's done is stink less than the rest of them. And everyone's like, "Oh yeah, man, sign him up, bro. Come on, get him in, get him in." I mean, we're cooking with Sergio. Get out my face. People have got short-term memories in this fan base. Short-term memories, and it sickens me. This is where we was with Vegas. This is where we was with. This is where we was with. I can't remember his name. What was the guy called? From Bayern Munich.
Sabitzer.
He's that shit. I forgot him. Forgot his name.
I said, get out of my face, yo. Double A's had enough of the fan base, yo. Double A started content creating permanently, and he's had enough of the fan base online already, yo.
Bro.
He's already gone. I'm tired of you, lot. Get out of my face.
Yeah.
You ain't even trying to hear the other side. Because he's played 3 decent games.
Well. He's played okay. But 3 games in, you're telling me he's played well enough. And stories coming out now, he's earning a contract, man.
We need to see it over an extended period of time. Like, come on.
Yeah, simple, man. Extended period of time. You know what fair play team is doing, but even Johnny Evans is doing well in this team because you know what it is. When we were shit, it's like when I don't know if it was under Moyes' era. Januzaj was our best player. In the Van Gaal era, who was our best player, bro? Remember the left back we used to have? I don't know what his name was, but we used to have people coming in and doing a job. Paddy McNair was our best centre back. Like there'd be always someone who comes in. Mourinho era was someone else. Like there was another player there that stood out as well. It was actually Scott McTominay actually when he came in. He was the one that stood out.
Yeah, he did.
And he kind of did well. Like there was so many players in the era where they might look rubbish on paper, and it shouldn't happen, but it happens because everyone else is not trying enough and not doing well, and the quality is down. So it makes it look like they're better. But that's where we as fans just have to say, relax, slow down, buddy, slow down, relax. Yeah, it's true though. Everybody slow down.
Slow down, buddy.
Relax
get out
yourself.
my face. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there you go. Get out my face. Just praise things in its, in its moment.
Yeah, praise things in isolation, which is cool. We can say, Reguilon's played well. Cool. We don't need to do it any more than that. He's 3 games in. We're in September. The season ends in May. There's so much football to be played. There's so relax. That's what you're just doing way too. Give him the contract. Chill. You know what I'm saying,
give him a contract, and then
slow down.
No. But I'm saying if he continues to play no man, don't even think why are you even thinking about it? Just let's get let's get wins. Let's just concentrate on that, playing well first before you start talking about loan signings. Yeah. Oh man. And the thing is, United will probably sign him and let Amrabat go. That's what we'll do. Okay, now.
Yo, listen, Amrabat was playing left back yesterday, yo. You know what I mean?
Did a better job. Did a better job as well. Did a better job.
Bro, he did a decent job. Everything's so mashed up, man. It's crazy, Jalapeno says, flawless 2 free chances a game wasted equals 100 plus chances a season. Even if it's 1/5 of those could have been converted by a teammate. That's about 20 goals a season plus.
That's every team in the Premier League. What we talking about? Put that super chat back up, please. That's every team in the Premier League. Manchester City.
Well, it's Chelsea right now.
That's every. The reason why that's every team in the Premier League is because more attacks are unsuccessful than successful. Manchester City, who are the best attacking team in the league, how many attacks do they have? 90% of attacks break down. Why are we? If we're gonna criticize Rashford for his decision making, cool. You know what I'm saying? Him being dropped, cool. Footballing IQ, cool. This is what I'm talking about in regards to doing too much. 90% of attacks break down. Whoever City are the best attacking side. How many goals did they score against Nottingham Forest? 2. How many attacks do you have per game? You know what I'm saying? 50, 60, 70, maybe even more. So why is Rashford being criticized for attacks break? Like other players don't give the ball away. Like attacks don't break down with Højlund. Attacks don't break down with Pellistri and Bruno, and the list goes on. This is what I'm talking about in regards to doing too much. Take him out the side, and all of a sudden we score 20 more goals. Okay, sure. Because not the same attack, but the vast majority of this attack got 40 goals between them last season. So all of a sudden they just go and get so many more. All right, sure, okay.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
No, I hear it, man. I hear it. I think there has to be a little bit of a balance in what we say, and I think ultimately Rashford just needs to look for players better, man, and just give
say
opportunities.
That.
And also,
that's the thing is, though, this comes back to it comes back to the Reguilon. It comes back to the Reguilon thing. Just say that. Yo, he needs to make better decisions. Stop with we would score 20 more goals without him. What are we talking about? Like, this is what I'm saying when I say there's no middle ground. say he needs to make better decision making, he needs to be dropped. That's fair. All this other not like more, like I said, 95% of attacks are unsuccessful for most teams. For teams like Chelsea, it's higher. Like it's pretty much 100% with them. For a team like City,
them man are
less.
dusted.
Oh yeah,
Them man
them
are
man are
finished,
finished. For a City, it's probably 90%.
I thought we were bad. They are bad. They are bad. They are bad. Like, listen, we have maybe been mud brothers, but right now, bro, listen, I'm not saying we're leaving the mud, but let's
just remember, Saeed, our kitchen's still on fire a little bit before you start laughing at next man's house fire. Yeah. We're still cooking a little bit.
Yeah, don't throw stones from glass houses.
I get that. Let's get a fire blanket on first.
I ain't go like that. Like we got a little bit of a fire. Theirs is a full-on blaze. You know what I'm saying? Well, that's crumbling. Yeah, so they can get it.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome, right? Yeah,
straight awesome, bro. It's like literally like, oh, geez, like they are.
Don't let Top Bowley say Arsenal. They're going to put 100 million bidding for him,
bro. It wouldn't surprise you, mate. Couple of super chats. Shaw would be third choice at Spurs. He's not good. He's been there for a while, man. And we're still hearing about the Shaw. So we'll see. We'll see. Anke says Bruno can't tackle, can't keep the ball, can't press with discipline. Captain speaks a lot about a club. We are bottom 6 team who can't be a lower side. By the way, let me ask you a question here, guys. Yeah, why are we so bad at pressing? By the way, have you noticed us? We're so bad at pressing. We can't press to save our lives, bro. It's wild how this team cannot press together or press as a unit. Like, we're just half-hearted. We'll do it for like a minute, and then after that, we'll just like fade away. And it's like so easy to play around Man United. Like, that is something that Ten Hag has to sort out ASAP. Because, bro, go on.
Yeah, go. I was just gonna say, just because when you're pressing it, legit, everybody has to be singing from the same hymn sheet. If one person is not with it, the other 5 players pressing can be on it, but if that one person is not on it, it all falls down. It legit just all comes crumbling down, and that's what it is in regards
to our pressing stats, man.
To pressing.
I really do.
I don't think we're lazy with the pressing. I think it's just disjointed.
I just think it's intelligence. I just don't think they're clever enough to do it and stick to a game plan. I always go back to that first half against Palace, the Gegenpress, and we never saw it ever again. I mean, there's a lot of these players just don't have it in them to play this level of football, I don't think. And you can't ask Scott McTominay to start really pressing for 90 minutes. He can barely. I'm surprised he can do his own laces up. He probably has Velcro boots.
Well, I can't believe a player that's Scott McTominay. I don't know what he's good at. I'll be serious with you guys. I don't know what Scott McTominay is good at. I don't even, bro. Scotland, he's the next coming of. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man.
Because he's a centre back, Saeed. He's a centre back. That's why. He's a centre back in a back. He's the right-sided centre back in a back 3. That's what he is. That's his best position.
That's crazy, man. Jalapeno says,
I love this. This is great.
Yeah,
go on, get to it.
How many clear chances do you see other attackers at City, Arsenal, Liverpool mess up?
Okay, does anybody know who does anybody know who the top 2 players are when it comes to most big missed chances? Haaland and Salah. What we doing here, people? It's Haaland and Salah.
You see Haaland, what he missed on the weekend, bro.
How did you see? Did you see all the chances he missed the game before? What are we doing? So yes, I see Haaland and Salah miss multiple clear-cut chances. You know why? Because they're in great sides who create more and are better going forward. So law of averages,
they get more chances as well.
They get more chances to do so. Yes,
great more chances as well.
I guarantee you, Haaland is missing more. Haaland's missing more chances than we create overall as a team, collectively. Like, so in terms of what Manchester United convert and what we miss, Haaland by himself is definitely 110% just missing more. So what we doing here, clear cut. I see Liverpool players do what the Liverpool fans complain about with Núñez all last season. Can't finish. Not good enough. Now he's turned it around so far. He's in good form. What we doing here? Same with Arsenal. What did some Arsenal fans talk about? Oh, we need a striker to go and compete with Manchester City. Jesus is not good enough and Ketty is not clinical enough. Like, let's not do. People want, like, this is what I'm talking about with United fans. Shit's bad, but don't make shit worse than what it is.
Yeah.
I'm saying we always have to go over the top with the criticism. Like, just call it what it is and just keep it stepping. It's really not. No, it is a big issue, but it's not as big of an issue. I always gotta do too much.
That's true as well.
I always gotta do too much.
Yeah, no, volume in it, and this is a problem. Like United, if they kept producing the chances after chance, we'd actually have more goals. But the problem is, it dries out. The belief goes down. everything goes down. We kind of just almost kind of get back into our shells, and then all of a sudden, you're waiting for them to basically have a disaster class. You know what I mean? That's what happened Burnley. Let's be honest as well. I'm like, as much as we were all right, luckily they're so bad. I've never seen, by the way, 3 championship teams that are so bad in the league, like Sheffield, Burnley, and Luton Town, bro. I don't know. Listen, I used to go uni in Preston, and they're top of the league. So I hope they go through. You know what I mean? Stockport's my local team, but bro, like the championship, I don't know what's going on, but it's not looking good right now, man. Because
you know what it is?
They're the 3 best teams from last season.
The quality in the Premier League is just getting better and better, and the teams that are already here are able to compete for players. We saw it last season when Southampton are getting linked to players we were linked with. Oh, I know they went down, but you know, they got Lavia in. You know, these big players, these big other smaller teams now can compete a lot more. So if you come up, and I think Burnley brought a few players in, but Luton and Sheffield United didn't really do anything. And I think you really are struggling when you're not really going for players that are going to keep you in this league. And I think we're seeing that with them 3 sides that have come up. Can I just quickly go back onto Scott McTominay? Not that I ever really talk about him. But someone was talking about him in the chat, and so I saw something hilarious. But I have said previously that he's the worst footballer I've ever seen play for Manchester United. And everyone says, how can you say that? And they mentioned Jemba, and they mentioned Cleberson. And my reason is for that from Scott McTominay is that he doesn't do anything. So therefore, he's the worst player in the world because he doesn't do anything. How can you play for the majority of the game and have 22 touches against Brighton at home in the Premier League? At least Cleberson and Jemba tried, and they just weren't good enough. But at least they tried when they were on the pitch. I don't go hiding every single game. Someone brilliantly said or called him, and I'm going to have to call it him from now on, McPeekaboo. That is his name from now on, Scott McPeekaboo, because you don't see him at all. The man is a ghost. Like, he's the worst footballer I've ever seen in my whole entire life playing for Manchester.
Yeah.
And the sooner he's gone, the sooner I can breathe. I feel like the weight's lifted.
He's got to go in January. There's got to be a couple of players that go in January, and he's one of them for me. Him, Maguire. All of a sudden, Maguire's not available for some weird reason. He's got to go. There's a lot of players that have got to go, man. You know what I'm saying? Even Newcastle today, they scored 8 goals. How many do you reckon we would have scored at Sheffield United today? Like, be honest, guys. That's why I'm a bit worried, guys. Yeah. We don't have that clinical nature about us. We're not like, yes, they've got Isak and Wilson, and they're better strikers than maybe we've got right now.
We do, man. Just drop Rashford and we'll be fine. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? He's the sole issue. You know what I'm saying?
How many do we score today? Let me go in the chat. Guys in the chat today, we scored, wallahi, I'm not even lying to you. I don't think we scored more than 2 against Sheffield United.
Don't score more than 2. Don't score more than 2.
Bro, that's crazy. That's wild, people, man. And I think that fundamentally is an issue with the team. Goal scoring is an issue, but the fact that we're not relentless, like, we don't like, you know what I mean? Like, certain people, they get so emotional about things and whatnot. Like, we don't want it. Like, we don't want it enough, like, to score another. It's not like it's like an urge to. Like, Man City's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like, Guardiola will want, like, Bayern, relentless. Like, they want more. With us, we just like, you know what, 1-0. Like, for me, Ten Hag is setting a dangerous precedent if he thinks, like, because last season we was 2-1s, 1-0s. The highest scoring goal game we had was, I think, Chelsea was in it. I think 5-1 was it, or 4-1? What was the score?
4-1 at OT. Yeah, it was 4-1 at OT. Good game.
Yeah,
I was there.
Yeah, good game, great. Or 3-1 at max. But us, we need to start being more clinical, because the goal difference. If I look at the goal difference right now, yeah, I think we're on -3. Like, that's crazy, people. -3. Bro, that's wild, man. Like, it has to be better, man. Like, Nottingham Forest have got -2. You know, that's not.
I think -3 is the same number that Scott McTominay's done successful passes as well. I think this season.
Yeah, Double A's not letting up on that all season.
I'm here to tell everyone it's now an agenda. Just so you know.
First.
Well, listen, I don't think people will care if it's an agenda like that. That's the way it is.
Some people actually don't know. Some people, why have you got an agenda against Scott McTominay? Because he's shit.
No, you just don't think. But the thing is, that's not just an agenda. You just don't rate him as a player, and that's okay. Because not many others
right. Got goals in them. Bro, guys, Brighton. I'm not even lying to you. They won
Bad
today
boy.
again, 3-1. You know, Rashford has 7% conversion rate this season. Yeah, it's poor. It's poor. Very, very poor.
Wait. When we
what?
say that spot, wait. There's someone else. If there's someone in the chats who's a stat guy, let us know like in regards to the rest of like the top 10 in the league. Like what's their conversion rates? Like I hate when people.
He's had 26 shots under this season.
Yeah, no, but when I say that, I'm talking about because we're saying Rashford at 7%. So what's Haaland's conversion rate, for example? What's Salah's conversion rate? Whoever the top 5, top 10, if anyone knows that, because I bet what's the average? I bet it's not that high. So again, I'm not going to criticize him. Yes, you want him to have higher than 7% conversion rate, but that's not the reason he's shooting when he should pass and pass when he should shoot. He just needs to be dropped at this point. He's in poor form. That's it. What are we doing? Yeah. And Brighton scored all them goals, but hey, when they get packed by a Greek side on their home pitch, no one wants to talk about it. But hey, we move.
Yeah,
we move.
Apparently Haaland's 48% for
what conversion rates? 48%.
That's what someone just said in the chat. Yeah,
how about that? 48% of his shots.
Apparently,
Jesus.
48%. Nah, that's crazy.
That's what someone in the chat just said.
I don't know about that.
It's Haaland.
And what's the rest? Who's the scorers as well? Let me see the goal scorers in the Premier League. Let me see the Premier League goal scorers. Like, what are their conversion rates?
Does anyone want me to sing while these two are checking?
No, that was last season. He had a 28% conversion rate last season.
I'm talking about this season.
Someone said 48 this season.
And everybody else. All right, Haaland's a freak. We know that. What about the rest of the players? I legit want to know. Like, let me see. I'm trying to see goals here. Hold up. Like, Son's got 5.
Hit the like button, people.
Yeah, make sure. So, like, for Son, Bowen, Edouard. Right, when did Edouard get 4 goals? But anyways, Evan Ferguson,
he had a good start to the season.
Callum Wilson.
Bro,
you know what I'm saying? Like, jeez. Yeah, that because I'm not following Palace like that. So I ain't even watching like that. That's how I didn't know. But hey, salute to him.
All right, now, like, what's stats? We need stats right now.
Yeah. Like Son, Bowen, Edouard, Evan Ferguson, and Bremo, Callum Wilson, they've all got 4 goals. What are their conversion rates? If anybody knows in the chat. Yeah, interested to know because then we can actually we can rate it.
This is your time to shine now.
This is your time. This is your see people. This is the moment. This is me giving back to the chat. This is now your moment to be like, I've been waiting for this.
Someone can become the Unfiltered podcast Stato. Now is your time to audition.
We need one anyway. We need one on the channel anyway. I don't have a stat person, so please help me out. If you could be a statistician, you get to be mod, you get to be, you get to have privileges. So, you know what I'm saying?
Privileges. To talk on these privileges, so you let us know what people can expect.
Listen, you know what I mean? You just, you get maybe early access to things, you know what I mean? Just general,
questions take priority as well. When they got a question in the
TV membership pack, you got a little mug,
there you go,
a poster.
There you go. Yeah, where's Killis when you need him? Yeah, Killis. Where's Killis when you need him?
When he creates the easy
Statman Baines is about retirement.
Yeah, he does.
We need Statman Baines about retirement.
Baines back. We do need Baines back. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? That's one thing I miss about Baines. Yeah. Anytime I would have an argument with Statman Baines, he would say, "Let me just check my stats," and he would just bury me with the stat. And I'm like, "Bro, watch the flipping damn game."
Shout out Bainesy for real, man. Shout out
Baines, man.
Also, it's the start as well. When Saeed does the it ain't easy merch, you know what I'm saying? You get early access to that as well.
Early access.
Yeah, there you go.
Matoma 18%, Diaz 25%, Doku. See, but none of these men have scored high goals apart from how many goals has Matoma got this season? How many shots? Right, Matoma's got in the Premier League.
He scored 2 today, didn't he?
So it's 2.
2 today, yeah. 2 goals today.
He's not on the list there. Is he on the list? No, he's not on the list there. So he's got 2 or 3 goals. Yeah. Right.
I will end up with us in 4 years' time. Brian Knight fan, AK
Broski. We'll swap for Ferguson, mate. That's fine. Cool.
Yeah, Ferguson, mate. You know what I mean? We need a bagsman. Listen, I've given Haaland the time and that. You know what? I do think United, if they were serious, they would go in for Tony in January. If United was serious, but I don't think we get it. We have United have the money as kind of such, but United are prioritizing a winger. Apparently that was a situation. I watched Fabrizio Romano's tweet. Yeah, I think his video. He said if Sancho doesn't leave, United will prioritize a winger rather than a striker. For me, I think that's ludicrous. We can have Ahmad, Pellistri. If Anthony comes back, he's there back in the team. Like, we don't need another winger. Don't get me a striker. I'm sorry. If you end up selling Sancho, I want a striker. Go and get me Ivan Toney.
Facts.
Because Arsenal will go in for him. Tottenham may go in for him as well.
Yeah,
Go
don't
and
let
get
him
me
go
Ivan
Chelsea or
Toney.
Spurs or Arsenal. Go get Ivan
Nah,
Toney.
Chelsea
they
as well.
need,
If they're
they need a
struggling,
striker,
I
man.
think he
They
will
need
be.
a striker.
Yeah. I think
We need to get him.
all them teams do. You know what I'm saying? All them teams could do with a striker.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
You know? All of them teams you could say, because he improves all three of them, like significantly.
Yeah.
And obviously us as well. Like, definitely go get Ivan Toney. Oh yeah, of course we're not getting him. No, we don't. United don't do smart business. We know that.
Smart business. Hey, I don't know about smart
We don't know.
business. I don't know about smart business.
Don't know about smart
So,
business. Doing things that are logical
yeah,
and
listen.
make sense for the team. From a
Nah.
financial standpoint and a footballing
United.
standpoint. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like oil and water, man,
Like
don't
you say.
mix. Oil and water.
There you go. There you go, people. So listen, man, we are positive with the win, like I said, but you know what? We need to sometimes analyze things in its entirety. You know what I mean? I'm not kind of looking at it in a micro analysis kind of way. Like we have to look at it in a bigger picture. And that bigger picture is style of play has to improve. And that will come with obviously better players and the players that are out. But also, I need to see substance because we could be saying this right now, yeah, and everything goes out the window against Crystal Palace because we've got them twice in a week. Beat in the Carabao Cup. I don't care about the performance in that one because it's all about results, if I'm being honest with you. Nobody should care about the performance against Crystal Palace at home in the Carabao Cup. But we're going to the Premier League. That's where I'm like, right, now it's back to the performance now because it's the league, it's your bread and butter, and you have to show a bit of something. But we'll see in it. We'll see. You get me? Like, we don't know. Dean Henderson might just turn into Prime Buffon and start doing some madness. You know what I'm saying? So we don't know. Last super chat before I wrap up. Bruno, F 10%, Callum Wilson 30%, Anthony Grammer, is that Anthony Gordon 17%, Nunes
So
25%.
just to clarify,
Yeah.
notice people, the vast majority of the high percentages are people who haven't got 3, 4, 5 goals. There's a reason for that.
Yeah.
Because they're not their percentages are probably higher because they're probably shooting less.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like Bruno G.
Quickly,
That's why I
before we go,
specifically.
do you reckon he'll rotate? Do you reckon he'll rotate though? Ten Hag?
Probably not. Probably
No,
not.
he didn't last season. He didn't
Wild.
last season, did he? He went for
He did
everything.
last season, you know.
Yeah, maybe,
That's wild if you don't rotate.
Yeah, maybe
Bro, that's wild.
Amrabat and Varane. Maybe Mount if he's fit.
Yeah.
Like those three that I can think of, that's it.
Let's be honest.
If you don't, then, bro,
there's no World Cup.
I'm not saying the injury's on him,
season,
but
so.
you then are a cause of that injury because you're not rotating. Because you know what I mean, you're clearly not rotating. So we'll see. But guys, we're gonna wrap it up here. There's 440 likes. Can we get up to 500, please? There's been nearly 1,000 people out throughout the whole video. Let's get to 500 likes. That's always a minimum on the channel. 500 likes. Big up to the guys who are coming in. For those that are wondering, where's Andy Tate? Andy Tate will come back. Obviously, it's just a minute just sorting things out. You know what I mean? Everyone has their own situations going on.
So live stuff going on. That's all, people, man. He's got live stuff going on, but he's good. But that's
live
all, man.
stuff, man. So listen, big up to Andy Tate if you're watching. Obviously, we missed you, and we hope you know you come back to the show soon. So big up to Andy Tate. Double A, been a pleasure, man. Are you there on Tuesday?
Nah, I'm not there on Tuesday.
Part time, mate. Come on, man. Get there, man.
I don't drink energy drinks, and I don't turn up to football tournaments that are named after any energy drinks. I'm afraid.
Okay.
If the Premier League turns into the Red Bull Premier League, I might turn up then. That's about it. But no, I'm not there. I'm gracefully passing on my tickets to someone else who can go to a game and watch Manchester United. But no, as always, big up to you, Said, for having me on. As always, it's always a pleasure. Big up to Flawless, my brother. Go and make sure you're checking out these two guys' channels. Well, you're on one of the channels already. Obviously, that was a stupid thing to say. But obviously, it's Sarcasm City as well. Make sure you're subscribing, liking, not even just liking this video. Scroll down the feed and like every single video. What he's doing, man. You've got a bit of time, so go and do that as well. Make sure you're dropping a comment as well. As I always like to read the comments back on this show. So whether you slag me off or whether you love me or whatever. I love the comments, so I like to get involved, man. It's all good. But myself, obviously, Double AFC. I do some football talk now. I know some people might come in and think, "What the fuck are you talking about, mate? You got your own channel talking football as well? Don't be daft." But no, I do actually have. Go and subscribe to it. I mean, I think 155 subscribers at the minute. I mean, I'd like more. If you get me to 200, that'd be sick. But I do appreciate the love over there. A couple of videos have been doing some good numbers, so I really do appreciate everyone that's checking us out, liking the video and getting involved in the comments. You know, it does mean a lot, so big up to everyone that does that. Talking Kit as well. I do Talking Kit at the channel. We've got a massive United fan on ranking his favourite 10. I've had him on the channel before. Stan Chow, who did the artwork for Hoyland signing and for the Mount signing.
Oh,
he's picking his 10 favorite United shirts of all time. So this Wednesday, not this Wednesday, Wednesday after, he'll be coming on talking about that. So big up to anyone who texts out talking kit. But obviously, AFC, go and check out. Stephanie Griffin is right. AFC is quality. So yeah, listen to them because they talk sense. But big up to these two guys and everyone, and have a good week. Went on a little bit longer.
Yeah, big up, man. Big up to you, bro. And yeah, make sure you check out Sarcasm City TV as well. Are you live tonight, Flawless?
Yeah. Live midnight. Actually, people, you know it's going to be a great show because it's the Manchester United Chelsea Spurs show I do. So shout out Surfer, shout out Jez, obviously repping Chelsea and Spurs. It's going to be basically just going to crash on Chelsea. That's what the vast majority of the show is going to be because they are. I don't think Poch makes it to Christmas. So yeah, that's at midnight UK time, people. Manchester United Chelsea Spurs show, Sarcasm City TV on YouTube. Make sure you follow us on Kick as well, people. That's another streaming platform we're on, and we got loads of content over there as well. Hey, but Saeed, we love for having me each and every time. Thoroughly enjoy the show every time. Great debate. It's always be cracking up, man. You and Double A, man. It's always great chopping it over with you lot. Always have me in stitches, but always talking sense as well. Like whether I agree or disagree with you, man, I understand where you're coming from. And I really I really fucks with that 100%. Large up the chat, you know what I'm saying? Even though I don't have the comment section open, big up to everyone showing me love. If you dislike me, hold that. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't like me, hold that. I'm here. But yeah, love to everyone showing love, man. But hit the like button on this video because this show is not doing anywhere near enough likes, you lot. You lot, I got one thing correct, showing up. Because you lot show up week in, week out. But second thing is, all we need you to do at Saeed TV is hit the like button. Saeed brings Double A, myself, so many other content creators onto his platform when he doesn't have to. He's doing great work. So make sure, you know what I'm saying, you hit the like button, please, and subscribe to Saeed's channel. What number are you on, Saeed, in terms of number?
I think we're closing in on 73 now. 73 subscribers, 73K. So that's the next target. And then
you know what I'm saying? More subscribers than the Etihad has on a match day, people. You know what I'm saying? And that. So yeah, make sure you hit the subscribe button.
Respect.
Facts. I'm saying.
Come on. Nah, I love that, man. I appreciate it. Big up to everybody who donated. Jalapeno, Owinski, HK Music. I think it's Adams as well. Loads of everybody who donated on the channel is much appreciated. I'll be back midday tomorrow. Lee Gunner, that should be fun. I think Goon is on tomorrow. He'll be fuming about Chelsea. We got Savo from Football Heritage and also Lewis from City Extra. So make sure you tune in midday tomorrow for the midday live. This has been the MUFC Unfiltered podcast. We'll see you this time next week. Take care. Bye-bye.